You want to show interest in women. You want to flirt, give compliments, approach, but you freeze up because you're terrified of seeming creepy. And that fear of bothering women is costing you dates and confidence. But here's the good news. There are only 6 things that actually creep women out. I call them the 6 Icks, the specific behaviors that give women the ick. Avoid these, and you can flirt confidently without crossing any lines. I'm dating coach and best-selling author Connell Barrett. I help introverted men attract women by being authentic, and you're about to learn the 6 Icks, my framework that assures you will never be creepy. And watch the last 5 minutes, because you're gonna learn exactly how to give compliments with charm. Let's dive into the 6 Icks. I'm gonna first give you a quick overview of all 6 Icks, and then I will break down each one so you know exactly how to avoid them. And again, every way that men seem creepy falls into one of these 6 buckets, and knowledge is power. Ick number 1, the Too Timid Ick, bringing hesitant, unsure energy instead of calm confidence. It's kind of like that guy who just stares at her at the bar and never says a word. This is probably the biggest ick that you are giving to women. Ick number 2, the Sex Object Ick, when you lead with sexual comments or a vulgar vibe that reduces a woman to her body parts rather than seeing her as a person. Ick number 3, the Me-First Ick, selfishly focusing only on what you want, attention, validation, sex, instead of generously creating a mutual, genuine win-win connection. Ick number 4, the Try-Hard Ick, working desperately to impress her with false confidence, fake niceness, bragging, instead of showing up as your real, authentic self. Ick number 5, the Signal-Blind Ick, missing or ignoring social signals, being blind to her vibe, her body language, the social context, and maybe escalating when the time is clearly not right. And ick number 6 is the Agenda Ick, using manipulative, high-pressure tactics that ignore a woman's boundaries and steer things toward your agenda even when she's uncomfortable. Here's a story to demonstrate ick number 1, the Too Timid Ick, which is likely the one that's costing you the most of all 6. Before I was a dating coach, I was at a rooftop lounge one night when I spotted a stylish brunette at a table with her friends. As an introvert, I didn't want to go over and bother her, but I summoned all my courage. I approached and I said, "Hi, you seem friendly. I'm Connell." Her eyes widened and she said, "Oh my God, you came right up and talked to us. Do you know what you are?" And I thought to myself, a creep who's bothering you? And she said, "You're normal. Thank you." I felt so much relief. And she tilted her head toward a different guy and said, "See that guy over there? He's been staring at us all night and it's creeping us out." I left the lounge that night with her phone number and a really valuable lesson. It's not creepy to take a chance. What's creepy is wanting to take a chance and not doing it and just timidly staring instead. And this is ick number 1, the Too Timid Ick. And that's the paradox here. It's not creepy to take a small social chance. What's creepy is when you hover and stare and do nothing. Maybe you watch social media videos about creepy encounters. You know, men who approach women in the gym, the grocery store, the sidewalk. It seems like every clip online reinforces the same message, which is that any initiation is a violation. So no wonder you feel frozen. If you scroll enough on TikTok, you're gonna find out that making eye contact is a felony at Whole Foods. So what's the difference between making an acceptable move and being creepy? It comes down to attunement. A flirty move is when you show romantic interest in a light way while reading a woman's response. If she likes it, keep going. If not, ease off. Creepy behavior is showing miscalibrated interest while ignoring her signals and pushing on if she's clearly not interested. But that's not you. What creeps women out isn't initiative. It's when a guy hovers, pushes, or ignores signals. Women generally don't complain about clear, calibrated moves. They complain about guys who make moves with zero attunement to how the woman's feeling. And this creates a problem for good guys like you, because you don't want to cross any lines. So let me break down each of the 6 icks in detail so you know exactly where the lines are. Here we go, deep dive on the 6 icks. Now, most guys don't even realize this first ick is happening and it's costing them more dates than anything else. Ick number 1, the Too Timid Ick. This is when you bring hesitant, unsure energy instead of that calm confidence. Like that guy at the bar in my story who was just staring at those women. Now, that woman knows you're interested, but if you're just watching, that makes her uncomfortable. Or maybe it's the guy on a date who wants to hold her hand, but he can't commit and do it. So his hand just hovers near her and he pulls back and she just feels that timidity. Or maybe this is you. Maybe on a first date, you've wanted to go for that first kiss, but you just didn't make the move because you didn't get the green lights that you wanted. And women can feel that anxiety radiating off you, that hesitation, that uncertainty. It doesn't feel romantic. It feels awkward and creepy to women. Okay, this next ick is one even good guys accidentally trigger without even realizing it. Okay? Ick number 2, the sex object ick. This is when a guy leads with sexual comments that reduce her to her body parts rather than seeing her as a person. This is the dude who walks up to a woman, looks at her chest, and just oozes, "Damn, you look good," like he's judging livestock at the county fair. That's the sex object ick. He's not seeing her as a human being with thoughts, dreams, a personality. He's treating her more like a mannequin. Now, women do like compliments about their traits. What they don't like is a guy who leads with their sexuality. Okay, this next ick quietly kills first dates, and men have no idea they're doing it. Ick number 3 is the Me-First Ick. This is focusing on what you want. Validation, sex, ego gratification, instead of generously creating a genuine win-win connection together. It's the guy who's only focused on doing whatever it takes to get what he wants, treating the interaction like a transaction. He's not interested in her experience. He's thinking about whether she's into him and whether he's gonna get what he wants. He's just checking boxes on his mental checklist. Get her number, get her to my place, get her to like me, get her into bed. And women can sense when a guy is using them as a means to an end, and that just feels gross. This next ick is one women complain about constantly to me when they're upset about what men do. Ick number 4, the Try-Hard Ick. This might also be you. This is working desperately to impress a woman with false confidence, fake niceness, or bragging, instead of just showing up as your real, most grounded self. It's bragging to impress her rather than just knowing your worth and knowing it's not about your car or your money, but it's about you at your core. I made this mistake a lot back in the day. On a first date, I once told a woman that I swim with sharks because I thought she wanted some rugged man of adventure. That is so not me. I don't swim with sharks. I swim with my rubber ducky in the bathtub. And she could feel my try-hard fakeness, and she friend-zoned me because I was giving her the try-hard ick. Or maybe you've been overly fake with a woman in a way that's try-hard, and it just repels women. I talk so much about radical authenticity because when you're truly authentic with women, it just blasts away the try-hard ick. Okay, next. If you've ever had a woman suddenly go cold and disappear, this next ick is probably the reason why. Ick number 5, the Signal-Blind Ick. This is when you miss or you ignore her social cues, such as her vibe, her body language, or just the social context, and you escalate the wrong way or at the wrong time. This is the guy who just can't read the room, the guy who leaves his hand on her thigh because he saw a TikTok reel about breaking the touch barrier, even though she's clearly recoiling and pulling away. Or it's the guy who sends gamey, scripted text messages when she wants him to be real and vulnerable. My new client, Jay, had a date lined up with a woman named Amy. Over text, Jay cracked a joke that Amy found mildly offensive, and she told him. She wrote, "Hey, that really wasn't funny." Now, instead of reading the room and apologizing to her, which would have put things back on track, he texted, "Aw, you are so pretty when you're angry." Yikes! He committed 3 icks at the same time. The Signal-Blind Ick, because he didn't read how she was feeling. The Try-Hard Ick, because he crowbarred his cheeky, cocky joke in when she didn't want that. And the Sex Object Ick, because he brought it back to her looks. So Amy texted him, "Hey, I'm canceling our date for tomorrow. I just don't feel comfortable meeting you." That was a painful lesson for Jay, but he learned a valuable lesson. By the way, I was guilty of this too back in the day. I once spent an entire first date making 0 flirtatious moves, and then, as she was about to get in her Uber, I awkwardly lunged at her for a first kiss, and my mouth collided with her jaw. Ouch. Not smooth at all. I gave her the Signal-Blind Ick. Okay, and this last ick repels women. Avoiding it instantly will make you the most trustworthy guy in the room. Ick number 6, the Agenda Ick. This is using manipulative, high-pressure seduction tactics that ignore a woman's boundaries and that desperately steer the interaction toward an outcome that you want, but she's uncomfortable with. This is the pickup guy who sees women as pretty pawns in a game of seduction chess. Or it's the guy who pressures her for one quick drink at my place after she said, "Hey, I have an early morning, I don't think so." It's the guy who uses tactics and tricks instead of genuine connection. And this isn't flirting, this is a manipulation, and women can smell it a mile away, and it's creepy. All right, now that you're armed with the 6 Icks, did you notice what is not on my list? You can approach a woman just like I did at the rooftop bar. You can go for a first kiss on a date. You can give women compliments. Remember, it's not creepy to make moves. It's only creepy if you commit one of these 6 Icks. And here's the great news. If you're watching this video right now and you're worried about being creepy, you're not a creep. You're actually a good guy. You know who doesn't worry about being a creep? Actual creeps. All right, now it's time for a fix for all 6 Icks so that you can confidently make some moves and flirt with confidence. Here we go. Let's take this one at a time. So instead of being timid to make the move you want to make, fully commit to it, whether it's an approach or going for a handhold or giving a compliment or going for that first date kiss. For example, when you see a woman in real life you want to meet, count down from 5 and break the ice with her before you get to 0. Do not stare at her like you're a character from a Stanley Kubrick movie. That is creepy. Commit to it. Count down from 5 and say, "Hi, you seem interesting and I wanted to meet you." Or on a first date that's going pretty well, don't wait for 17 green lights and don't shyly ask her permission to kiss her. Instead, look her in the eye and move in for that kiss. Fear is okay. Timidity is creepy. For ick number 2, instead of making a woman feel like a sex object by praising her looks, making it all about her beauty, find out what's interesting about her beyond her appearance. Ask a woman, what do you love to do? What hobby lights you up? And this will help you understand a little bit about what makes her tick. And women love a man who understands what she's into and why she's into it. Women love a guy who understands what her passions are. And for the next ick, number 3, instead of only making it about what you want, validation, a second date, sex, a phone number, focus on creating a win-win vibe that both you and she can enjoy. And here's a great way to do this on a first date. Play a game. Play 2 truths and a lie. Or have a staring contest. Or play some sort of get-to-know-you game. On my first date with my now girlfriend Jess, I had one goal: make her laugh and make her feel sexy. I wanted it to give to her because I knew that if I gave to her, she might want to give back to me. Instead of trying hard to impress women, be expressive instead. Think express, not impress. Avoid stories where you're trying to make yourself look good. Instead, share honest, genuine, vulnerable stories, something where you don't look good. My client Ray likes to tell women about the time in college when he was playing in the College Baseball World Series and he struck out to lose the championship game. How devastating that was and how he bounced back from it. And women love that kind of vulnerability and authenticity. It is so rare, and that actually makes him more attractive than if he talked about the time he hit the home run to win a game. Instead of being signal blind to her cues, try to read her cues. If she gives you short answers, notice that, and then ask her some open-ended questions that might help her to open up. Try to avoid yes or no questions. Don't lurch and go for a first kiss at a random moment on a date like I foolishly did. But also don't wait until date 18 to even try. Be truly present with a woman, and then you're gonna know the right move to make in that moment. And instead of being that guy who's trying to manipulate a woman for the sake of your agenda, give her clarity in what you want in a pressure-free way. Tell her, I want. There's something so powerful about a man saying to a woman what I want, but also give her an option where if she doesn't want the same thing, you are totally comfortable with that. Women love a man who knows what he wants, but he gives her a clear choice in the matter. So say things like, I want to see you again. Would you like to have a second date with me? Or, I want to keep getting to know you. Would you like to come over for a drink? Or would you rather wait? This communicates confidence and clarity. You're not hiding what you want, and women like that transparency, but you're also giving her the space to say yes or no without any pressure. And that makes her feel safe and respected. And that is how you lead a woman on the dating dance without being manipulative. Dating does carry risks, but not the risks that you think. The greatest risk of all is not taking any chances. And that's what your fear of being creepy is costing you. It's costing you chances. It keeps you frozen, gets you stuck in the friend zone, but you're a good guy. You like and care about women. You have empathy. And this is why you're afraid of getting those creepy reactions. So please remember that it's coming from a good place. You're a gentleman, a good guy with a heart. But now that you know the 6 Icks to avoid, you can change the game. Because now you can make moves and feel free knowing that you're not doing anything creepy. So go out there, say hello, take her hand, go for the kiss, create those genuine connections, and of course, always be authentic. Those are the 6 Icks. If you would like to talk to me for free and do a consultation to find out how my dating coaching works so that you can get a personalized piece of advice from me about how to navigate these 6 Icks and not only never be creepy, but flirt better than you ever have before, all you have to do is go to my website, datingtransformation.com. Hit the book a free call button, and you and I will speak about how my coaching works, and I can walk you through the best ways to flirt with women and not only not be creepy, but to be incredibly charming and, of course, do it with authenticity. So go to datingtransformation.com if you would like to book a free consultation with me to find out how my one-on-one dating coaching works. Talk to you next time.